Welcome to Rail Park Reviews, the series where we visit rail parks across the United States to give rail fans a detailed tour and review of some of the most famous places to watch trains across the country. On this episode, we visit the Rochelle Rail Park in Rochelle, Illinois. I'll give you a detailed tour of the park and provide you with all the important information rail fans need to know before visiting the park, like how many trains pass through here each day, what camera angles can rail fans get at the park, what kind of amenities does the park offer. Plus, I'll give you my list of favorite and least favorite things about the Rochelle Rail Park. This episode of Rail Park Reviews covers all of this, plus much more. Located in northern Illinois about 70 miles west of Chicago, the city of Rochelle is home to one of the most popular rail parks in the United States. Back in the 1990s, the city of Rochelle recognized that rail fans from all over the country were flocking to their city to watch trains. So, in 1995, the city acquired the plot of land east of the Diamond in order to provide rail fans with a place to watch trains. In 1998, the park was open to the public, making it one of the first true rail parks in the United States. Over the past 2 decades, several other cities have sought to replicate the success of the Rochelle Rail Park by creating rail parks of their own. Rochelle is a true railfan hotspot, seeing upwards of 80 trains per day. The rail park sits on the plot of land located east of the Diamond, which serves as the intersection of Union Pacific's Geneva subdivision and BNSF's Aurora subdivision. Both the Union Pacific and BNSF lines provide railfans with plenty of traffic every day, but the Union Pacific line tends to be the busier of the two. My dad, brother, and I visited the park during the last weekend in September of 2020. This was my 4th time visiting the park, so I'm by no means a regular visitor. Consequently, if you have any additional or updated information you'd like to share about the park, please feel free to do so in the comments below. I definitely want to provide everyone with the most accurate information possible, and I know that things are constantly changing, especially with the pandemic. So, without further ado, let me take you on a tour of the Rochelle Railroad Park. Alright, so we just got to the Railroad Park. It's about 8:45 in the morning. Looks like they're doing some work on the Diamond down there. So we're going to take a quick look around the park and see what kind of stuff they have here. One of the really neat things about this rail park is it's kind of elevated above the tracks up here by the pavilion, which is really neat because it gives you a higher view of the trains. Another thing that I noticed right away is that the signals on both tracks are fairly easy to read from the park. So that at least gives you an idea if trains are coming from one of the directions. Sounds like they have a scanner running in the pavilion, so that's cool. Looks like they also have a webcam that you can check out. I think I've looked at this webcam before. They also have the Railstream webcam, which is somewhere over there. But I believe that particular cam is a paid camera. The pavilion is really nice. They have lots of picnic tables and sitting area, and looks like they even have some outlets in case you need to plug in your phone or a camera or something like that. And then on the other side of the pavilion, they have this area that you can go down in if you want a close-up view of the Diamond. I believe that this is supposed to represent kind of like an old hobo village by the tracks, if I remember correctly. Let's go down in here. You can actually get closer to the Diamond than I remember. They have a fence down here all the way around, so even kids can come in here without you having to worry if they're going to run onto the tracks. Looks like they're doing some work on the diamond now, but hopefully they'll clear the way later for lots of trains to come through. I realized that even when you get really close up to the signals like this, you can still pretty easily see what color they are. So it's nice to know when a train is coming. So literally right after I talked about the signal there, it just turned yellow for this train to slowly work its way through the diamond. Looks like we've got a real old engine here. This is pretty cool. This is a really short train. All right, so we're heading back down toward the parking lot. They have this little gazebo over here that has some information about the Illinois-Lincoln Highway. And they do have a bike rack here, which is pretty neat. So if you ride your bike here, you can chain it up for the day. Looks like the signs say the gift shop is open. Let's see, open daily 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., closed on Tuesdays. Now I did notice that the restrooms for the gift shop are closed temporarily, probably because of COVID, but they do have some porta potties that you can use on site, so that's nice. They have fences along the tracks down here where the park is at ground level or track level. So you can't really go any closer than this down here. However, there are sidewalks going across the tracks on both the UP and BNSF lines. So technically, if you really wanted to just take a peek down the tracks to see if anything was sitting down there, you can just use the sidewalk to kind of walk across the track. There's a closer view of the Railstream camera right there on the side of that garage. That camera is looking down at the diamond from over here on the Union Pacific side. And again, I believe that this camera is a paid camera, at least right now, on Railstream. So if you have a membership there, you can view this camera live 24/7, I believe. It says this is a no whistle zone. I don't remember it being that way before, but I can't say for sure that my memory is accurate. So again, if you're more familiar with the park, let me know, when did this become a no whistle zone? Was it recently, or has it been that way for a while? I can't remember. We're gonna go over to the BNSF line here. So again, they have a fence along the tracks right there, which is good because if you have little kids, you don't want them running out on the tracks accidentally. But kind of like over on the UP line, the signals are really easy to see here. We're going to take a quick look down the BNSF line here to see what that's like. I like how they have the little crossing gate just for the sidewalk. It doesn't even have any signal lights on it or anything like that. It's just the gate. And then over here, they have one that's connected to the main crossing signal. Here's what the gift shop looks like from the front. Looks like maybe it just used to be a house. That'd be a pretty neat house to have right between the tracks here, if that's what it used to be. I like how they have the railroad park rules right here. Gotta keep law and order at the rail park. Those crazy rail fans. It seems like a lot of the rules are focused on children, which makes sense. I mean, you want to try and take good care of your kids if they're here. They have a couple little old engines at the park, like this Whitcomb locomotive. This one you can actually climb up in. So if you have a little kid who wants to get a picture up in this engine, they can come up and do that. They have a little stairway over here, so you can climb up in it. The other one looks like they don't want you to climb on it, but it's here at least for you to look at, which is cool. You don't see engines like this very often, so pretty neat to see. But again, looks like they don't want you to climb on this one. They have this old car sitting here behind the Whitcomb locomotive. It almost looks like a picnic table on a rail car. I'm not sure exactly what they would use this for. It looks like maybe some sort of a maintenance of way piece of equipment. If you know what this car was used for, leave a comment below. I'm not exactly sure what they used this for. Looks pretty cool though. Alright, so we've kind of walked around the park now and checked everything out. Now we just need some trains to come. So hopefully we'll give you some good videos of trains coming through the park. I'll try and give you an idea of what kinds of angles and video shots you can get from the park as different trains come throughout the day. I'll try and mix it up a little bit, kind of give you an idea of the different kind of angles and shots you can get of the trains. This strap rail is kind of cool. You can really tell that the rail is a lot different than the rails we use nowadays. So it's neat to see some of the old stuff. It says this is from 1854. So in the pavilion, they have all of these hobo symbols that you can look at. They also have radio frequencies and information about the line. I kind of get the sense that this park has a little bit of a goal of educating people, which is kind of cool. I think that's part of how they actually obtained their grant to build the park. They wanted to kind of make it a little bit of an educational experience, so it's cool. They have a bunch of different information that you can learn while you're here. So it's a neat place for sure. One of the things that I am constantly noticing about this park is that they definitely have lots and lots of places that you can sit and eat and just kind of watch the action. There's plenty of benches and picnic tables. They also have this grill over here along with the water pump, so you can even grill out. And another thing is, you can just really tell by little areas like this that they really have put some time and effort into just making the park look nice overall. Just these little gardens they have are pretty cool. All of the benches and stuff are in good condition. They're really nice. You can just tell that the park is well maintained and it's just well kept, and it's just definitely a really nice place. Now that we had recorded both the Union Pacific and BNSF movement from up at the pavilion, we decided to head down to the grade crossing to view a couple trains from a different angle. As soon as the engines disappeared from sight, another train began making its way across the diamond. I decided to leave my video camera and tripod right next to the tracks to get a close-up shot of the train accelerating out of Global 3 Yard. So earlier when we were here, there were only a few people, but now the parking lot is absolutely packed. And as we've been standing out by the road, we've actually had multiple people say that the park is way busier than normal, and they've asked us if anything special is going on. I don't think anything special is going on, but there are a ton of people here today. There's still more people coming in. I don't even know where people are parking now because there are no more spots available. I'm afraid if we leave to go to lunch, we're going to lose our parking spot. They only have the handicap spaces left. We're going to check out the gift shop now. Wait. I guess it's not open. Okay, apparently the gift shop is not open, despite the fact that the signs at the park say the gift shop is open. Okay, the gift shop and bathrooms will be closed on the weekends until further notice. Okay, so apparently, if you're here on a weekend, it's closed. Restrooms will be open during regular business hours beginning 6/26. Visit at a later date if you are not feeling well. Okay, so apparently COVID has just kind of affected the hours of some of this stuff. Alright, so let me give you my overall list of favorite and least favorite things about the Rochelle Rail Park. We'll begin with my 5 favorite things. First, this rail park is really well maintained and has all the amenities rail fans could possibly want. The pavilion is really nice and provides you with shelter if you're here on a day when it's raining. And while we didn't get to go in it on this trip, the gift shop is pretty cool. It's also nice to have permanent restrooms on site. Second, something I didn't mention before is the gift shop actually has the ATCS monitor program running at all times for both the BNSF and Union Pacific lines. So if you want to know what trains are in the area, you can just check those out. It's really helpful. Third, this place is pretty busy. While there are definitely busier train watching locations in the Chicago area, you usually don't have to wait too long for a train to come. Like most places, it has some quiet times, but more often than not, it's pretty busy. We even saw several meets during the weekend we were there. Fourth, there are plenty of places to get food near the park, and there are also several hotels in Rochelle. We stayed at the Holiday Inn Express, and they even had a discount for people visiting the rail park. Fifth, the rail park is pretty kid-friendly. We noticed a lot of kids at the park while we were there. The kids really seem to like climbing in the Whitcomb locomotive, and it's nice that there are fences to keep the kids safe and give the parents peace of mind. Alright, now let's talk about the negatives. Overall, there are way more positives than negatives, so by me giving some negatives, I don't want you to think that I don't like the rail park. That couldn't be farther from the truth. I really love this place. But, just to make this a thorough review, let me mention 3 minor disadvantages of the park. First, while we were there, we were told that they converted Global 3 into a freight yard, and there's not nearly as much traffic in and out of the yard as there used to be. So overall, there used to be more traffic on the Union Pacific line. Second, this isn't really the best place for photography. It's not particularly scenic, so if your goal is just to get really cool pictures of trains, this may not be the best place for you. The location of the sun makes it especially tricky to shoot the BNSF line. And third, there aren't any places to park an RV here, so if you're traveling with an RV, you'll have to find somewhere else to park it while you're here. Aside from these minor disadvantages, we really enjoyed our time at the Rochelle Rail Park, and we highly recommend visiting if you get the chance. I really wish I lived closer to Rochelle. In fact, if I lived anywhere in the greater Chicago area, I'd probably go there all the time. This is truly one of the nicest rail parks I've ever been to. The park is really well maintained and it has pretty much everything rail fans could possibly want. Maybe one day I'll see you at the Rochelle Rail Park. In the meantime, if there's a rail park you'd like me to review, or if I left out any important information you'd like to share, please take a moment to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and happy rail fanning!